Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the T92 HMC, the Tier 10 American SPG. This one's located on the eastbourne of Sand River, and it's under the command of Oksydor of OLIMP, and yes, he's at it again. In fact, he's been playing the T92 on quite a few of his streams recently, and of course I will link that so you can actually find out and have a watch on Twitch TV. Game on! And you see the flames coming out of the rear because, well, this is heavy metal. What you may not know about the T92 is that the chassis of the Pershing tank that it was made from was actually lengthened, so they actually had to put in an extra drive sprocket, and the drive sprocket is at the front. Well, not an extra drive sprocket, but an extra set of wheels, and the drive sprocket is at the front, which is more like the German SPGs, not like the American ones, which used to put it at the rear. Okay, he's loaded. He's waiting on an enemy tank to go up the slope. We just saw a tree go down. But he's just spotted there's another enemy tank out in the dunes, and I think he wants to have that one instead. In fact, it's an E5. This is a Tier 11 game with Tier 10 tanks in it. Gonna go for the DBV-152. He fires the round in. It lands just behind him, though. Okay, so he's fired his first round in. Only 16 rounds in total. He's backing up and changing position. Now, as I may have mentioned before, but it's worth knowing that they only made 5 of these. They started making them in March of 1945, and well, they were going to use them on Japan, but the war ended before they could actually get them into operation. A very limited production run. Well, the second shot lands near the E5 for 272. Now, they did actually produce 2 T93 GMCs. Both of those vehicles had the 8-inch howitzer as their main armament instead of the 24cm, and the 8-inch howitzer is the same one you normally find on the M53, M55, and of course you'll find it on the M43 as well. Now, of course, that was before the M53, M55 was built. Death Star, lining up the shot, round south. Oh, so unlucky! That shell, a lottery shell. Yeah, I say that, a lottery shell, because he's got to be that lucky to accidentally miss the shell. Well, it went right in front of the gun, in front of the turret, and he missed it. Yeah, that guy definitely needs to go out and buy a lottery ticket now. And we got 2 tanks to fire at this time, and that's even better because we can damage both of them at the same time. In fact, 3 tanks now. Oh, he got all 3 of them. Look at that. The mouse took the heaviest damage for 565, but the other vehicles got hit as well. And now our score's gone up to 1,567, and that makes up for the round that he fired, which didn't hit anything. He hasn't changed position, but we're certainly seeing a lot of those buzzards around. Maybe there's a lot of dead meat out there. Rounds out on the Progetto. Direct hit! Wow, that was a good one. So we don't know how much damage that one did, but it must have done something. Now, all contracts to make any more T92 were cancelled after the T93 GMCs were built, and the only remaining T92 HMC is actually now located at the Detroit Arsenal in Warren, Michigan. It was capable of actually firing 1 round per minute, only one, another direct hit, this time on the T803. Yeah, 1 round a minute, and it could fire that shell out to a range of 14.34 miles, which is quite a long distance, or 23.09 kilometers. They say that they only had a crew of 8, but in actual fact, they normally carried 2 or 3 trucks worth of equipment, including all the personnel to operate those trucks. And they needed those just to get the shells loaded, because of course they had to arrange a set of chutes to actually push the shell up into the breach. In the game, this shell actually has a range of 1400 kilometers, and it's the most powerful gun. Back when they started it, when it was actually placed in the game the first time, it could wipe out a heavy tank with just one round. It would penetrate the enemy tank and they'd go out of the game. In fact, the Salty Jedi, I actually was watching when the Salty Jedi did this on one occasion. Yes, he took out a Chinese tank, a Chinese heavy, the 113, on cliff, fired the round in, and it hit the rear engine, or the engine deck, and the tank just went out the game just like that. In fact, I do believe we still have that replay on our channel somewhere. Another direct hit, this time 529. He was unlucky not to penetrate the Leopard because, of course, that tank does have very thin armor. You can see where the shell landed was right on the front next to the tracks. And that's probably what saved him. The tracks probably prevented him from dying. He's just adjusted his position. Still firing the non-stun HE, which actually carries an alpha of 1,420 with 75 millimeters of penetration. Rounds out. Hits the contriver, but again, it looks like it hit the tracks for 548. He's racked up 3,363 hit points already, and that doesn't include the blind shot that he fired in, which of course we got no figures for whatsoever, so he's probably well above 4,000 by now. Now he's got a choice now. He can either go for the T803 or he can hit the mouse. The T803 is a tier 11, so it does make sense for him to go for that guy, because if he does hit him, yep, that's going to be extra 10% on the experience. Another 508, which means now he's up to 3,800. Mind you, he's running out of shells. That's the main thing. He's only up to 6 shells left. 3 of those are the non-stun HE, 2 stun HE, and of course 1 armor piercing. I think he likes to carry the armor piercing just in case he gets a heavy tank that he wants to penetrate. Oh, that was sneaky. Oh, he got the kill. The T803 tried to run away. No good. He got him in the rear. Now, looking up the other end of the map, it's a long way away. The DBV-152 is moving about on the heights, trying to shoot at our tanks. Now, we've got nobody out in the desert now, because, of course, all the dunes to the south, well, all the tanks that try to go up that way are now dead. Maybe the DBV-152 doesn't know that, and that's why he's still sitting up there. But I think he'll change position when he realizes there's nothing showing. In fact, he'll probably come back to that entrance. But look at this. We've got a Heshbon. The FV4005, I know a lot of you will call it something else. We don't like to call it that because, of course, we're a family-friendly channel, we might say. And, oh, he's got a friend. And the friend takes the shell instead for 537. And that gets him to 4,408 hit points. Remember, there's blind shots. Now, the enemy does have a DBV-152's moved through the dunes, and he's got fairly close, but not close enough for us to worry at the moment. But he might want to take that guy out because he is a threat. There he is. We're almost loaded. Taking him out would also help our teammates who are in the riverbed. We don't want him to be shooting down on them. The enemy mouse is also a one-shot now, so if we put a round on him, he will go out the game. We can't see the DBV because nobody's spotting him, but the TVP's moving up, so maybe he'll do the business for us. This is our last non-stunned HE shell. The scores are even, so it's anybody's game at the moment. And there's the mouse. Now, we did say he's a one-shot. The DBV suddenly comes into view just after we change the aim. He fires speculatively, gets a direct hit. He's done it again. But again, it's a blind shot, so we have no idea how much damage he did. But he must be over 5,000 hit points by now. Even if that was a non-penetrating shot, it would be around about the 500 mark. Contriver. Now, this is stun HE this time, so this time round his alpha's dropped because it's now only 1,100 and 60 millimeters of pen. But of course, he gets stun off this one, so if the contriver gets hit, he could actually get struck by a shell from one of our teammates, and that would seriously hurt him. But would you believe it? He's gone into cover just when we've loaded up a stun shell. The mouse is dropped, blocking our can opener and our Death Star from moving up the riverbed. And I think they're also worried about the DBV. In fact, it's the DBV who kills the can opener. But he was the low one on hit points. So can we do damage to the DBV? He decides not to shoot because, of course, he doesn't have a lot of shells left. Only 3 shells left now. So he needs to be very careful. But there's that mouse again. And this time round, we will stun him and possibly take him out. He fires a round in. And he did kill the mouse. Even though he looked away accidentally, he probably pressed the button at the same time. And the contriver is now a one-shot as well. And he goes down. And now we've got a one-tank advantage. Mind you, the hit points, well, they're about the same. So even though we've got a one-tank advantage, their tanks have more hit points overall. They've still got that Heshbarn, and they've still got that DBV 152. There's also a Gorilla 15 somewhere out there as well. And there's the Heshbarn. Okay, so we dial in and rounds out. Oh, one-shot him! Well, that ends his game. And now we've got a distinct advantage, 2 tanks. So that's the 3rd kill for Oksydor. That shell came in right on top of his turret. No chance of surviving that. But now he's only got 1 round left and it's armor piercing. So he has to get a direct hit for this to do some damage. He's lining up the shell ahead of these. Well, he didn't get the Scar Cows a shot at him because he didn't back up enough. The DBV's just gone down, which means now there's only 2 enemies remaining. The Gorilla 15 and the Object 261. And the Gorilla has been spotted at the back of the map. It looks like an AFK. Rounds out. Oh, unfortunately, the Gorilla dies just as our shell hits him. So we miss out on anything there. And we've now punched the reload to say we're empty. The Object 261 does get a kill, a constellation kill on the Leopard 1. But I don't think he's going to survive much longer. Mainly down to the fact, of course, that our teammates are all going in for the kill shot. We've got no ammo, so we can't do anything. But yes, the TVP comes in. He's going to administer the coup de grace. And that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another ace tanker game for Oksydor of OLIMP in the T92 HMC. Congratulations. he managed to get a mousetrap out of that one, and you get that for killing 10 or more Panzerkampfwagen Act in this game. That's the mouse. And yes, so he killed 10 mice. Does that give him a mousetrap? Yes, it does give him a mousetrap. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 17. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. The high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, at least 20% of the enemy hit pool. And on top of this one, he managed to get a Confederate, hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in his team. His win rate has shot up with this one, 12,406. And yes, he did have a lot of blind hits in this game. Really good blind hits as well. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see the highest damage was 8,479. Oh, he creamed it. The second highest damage was only 4,204. And normally in a game, that would be a good score. And that went to the Object 261 on the enemy team, who got a Gauze medal as well. When it came to third place, that went to the AMX50B on our team, who managed 3,789. Only 3,789 in third place. 8,000 is a huge score for an Arty player, but he definitely earned it. When it came to kills, we can see top scorer was the DBV152. He got 4 kills in that game. 3 kills went to his Heshbarn, but on our team, Oksydor got 3 kills, so did the MX50B, and yep, so they're all in joint second place. And in third place, the Contriver, the TVP T5051, the Death Star on our team, and on the enemy team, just the Object 261 got 2 kills. When it came to Base XP, yep, he got that one. Oksydor's got the top in 2 of the columns, missed out on the second one with the second place. 1,143 went to Oksydor in top position. 1,012 went to the Contriver, and they were the only 2 players who managed to make it over 1,000 base, with the AMX50B getting 976. He fired 16 rounds in this game, all of his ammunition expended. 12 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 17 splash. 8,479 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and he got 1 stun only in that game, but didn't get any stun assistance at all. But it really didn't matter because he did enough damage on a premium count to get 85,946 credits profit, including 50,000 for a mission completion and 3,429 experience points out of that game as well. Let's have a quick look to see which ones he penetrated. I did expect that one to be a penetration. Yeah, he hit the Heshbarn with a penetrating shot, went right through him for 1,015 hit points of damage. Lovely kill, that one. And the second one he penetrated, well, was it the Progetto? Yes, it was. Progetto 65. He hit that guy for 1,445 with a penetrating shot. Surprisingly, that didn't actually kill him. That was one of the blind hits that he fired in. He didn't get any results for it, but it was actually 1,445 hit points of damage from that shot alone. So that guy must have been fuming because most of his hit points just disappeared with 1 shot. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.